Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Hope all is well on your end. I had a quick interview this morning in Nimba or in Liberia, for that matter, in regards to my role in our community, in advocacy, and in just the political dispensation, or just as a whole for humanity purposes. And a lot of people called. Their problem with me was that I should not have a say so in the politics of Liberia. These people who call raining down on themselves that I should not have a say so in politics. I should stay on the side and protest and talk until my lungs go dead, which is advocacy. Who do not understand advocacy and politics entwined. And right after I got off the phone, they are calling me to tell me, oh, there was a natural disaster in Lowy. If I can add my voice to see how we can do a fundraiser. And I outright told them no. No, because you want me to talk. You want me to bring out the issue, but you don't want me to say to you how we can solve this problem. We can solve this problem only by protesting. Protesting is a means of bringing your issue to the forefront to tell the government or policymakers that you disagree. Meanwhile, when you are telling people that here are your options, choose, go out, I have helped you, done 50-50, okay? By my travel, by my information, by my experience. Now look at these people critically, do your own analysis, do your own investigation, that we are all coming from the same place. We all know one another. Over and over and expect different result is craziness. And he's saying it to himself. No, he's not. He's saying it to you. All right? You. I see people writing about, oh, if they had not killed Torbert, this would not have happened. Torbert had been there for 30 some more years. You want to tell me there had not been any birth or any good person in Liberia, that the Liberian people who had decided to have chosen to lead them? No. Okay? I'm not big about Torbert. Torbert was there for more than 15 years. He was vice president for years. He was president for over 9 years. Okay. So for me, and then he has his own art. Although we don't respect women, and it goes back. He had no moral. And when I say that, people get mad. This man was sleeping with people, little girls all over the place and dumping them on campus. So we only talk about the physical infrastructure and all of that. What's about morality? What's about the human capital? How about that? Girls don't matter? Are we supposed to be toilet tissue? And that's exactly where Koga said, and that's what I'm speaking to. So I'm gonna play this video because I know Facebook is gonna take it down. So I'm gonna put it on YouTube, and that's why I'm playing it. Please, I know I upset people, but my job is to teach history. Okay, my job is to go where most people will not go. My job is to make sure that these things are taught, and we can make decisions from there. All of us have shortcoming. That was his shortcoming, and I can speak to that. Okay, but let me continue with this. I want to play this Mark on M video. How always been for me, in respect to women's road or women education. So I'm gonna go ahead and play that, and we're gonna start this conversation. I was just gonna replay those video because, my point is, you don't want me to talk, but you want me to help. It does not happen that way. Not in the world of the academia. If I'm talking, I have to educate you, and I have to give you a proper help in that arena. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to look at my connects, and said what he did. The man said this in the 60s. This
became aware of in my traveling recently through Africa and the Middle East. In every country that you go to, usually the degree of progress can never be separated from the woman. If you're in a country that's progressive, the woman is progressive. If you're in a country that reflects a consciousness toward the importance of education, it's because the woman is aware of the importance of education. But in every backward country, you'll find the women are backward. And in every country where education is not stressed, it's because the women don't have education. So one of the things I became thoroughly convinced of in my recent travels is the importance of giving freedom to the woman, giving her education and incentive to get spirit and understanding in the children. And I frankly am proud to struggle, and I'm one person who's for giving them all of the leeway possible because they've made a greater contribution than many of us men. And one of the best ways that they can help is to encourage the man, try and inspire.
that was Malcolm X. This is way in the 60s, okay, far ahead of his time. While you are in Liberia in 2025 and you're telling us women don't belong. In so many words that the guy, most of the people called today were positive that I spoke. They're glad that I spoke. Okay. So I'm going to continue with this. And I'm going to want you to hear this Koga dude. All right. And I'm not going to play all of it. I have played over and over. I'm sure some of you are tired with it by now. Okay. So, but even if you're tired, we're going to continue to bring it home. I'm going to continue to bring it home. So I remind all of us of where we are as a nation. This is it. Okay. So let's go ahead. This is Koga right here. That Malcolm X, that's an informed, a man who is not insecure, the man who believes that women can make a difference. Okay. That's that. So let me see where we are. This is him. Listen up.
You ever hear a woman, you say, okay, you, that woman can also. That woman that coming there would lure also inside there. She will never spy in my country. That terrorist, that terrorist part of all I watch.
You look at the faces of the men.
Say, the men who die, that the hero of the country. They say woman will replace it. You not see it before? You not see it before? We will never allow it to happen. The player I will say that thing more than in the manor sector. Because they get more society than us. I'm going to tell the head of them.
And indeed we do in the in the minor sector. And I'm a minor girl per se, minor gear girl. But because my father is minor, so automatically I'm minor based on our culture and tradition, which he does not understand. And besides, I'm gonna put under this platform, you understand in regards to in regards to the Constitution. So his thought process violates the Constitution. That's number one. The Constitution, Article 5 of the Constitution, it contradicts the Constitution, okay, where it talks about integration, where it talks about progress, and I'm putting it right under this live. So all of you can know where we are. Okay, I gotta go buy food to eat. Why is this not coming on? I mean, it's on, but I'm not seeing it. Okay. Why is it all the way down here? I can see it on the other phone, but I can't see it here. Okay. There we go. Let me go ahead and share. If you are here, thank you for being here. I'm home this week. When I get up, I'm going to go do some work and I'll take it. Why is this not sharing? Why are you not sharing? Why are you not sharing? Okay, here it is. Nope, that's not it. All right, let me see if I can share it here on my page. Okay, so I am here. If you are here, please help me share. My goal is to make sure we all have a voice in the dispensation or the flower march of our country, especially. And I want to speak softly and nicely to the young people. You got to find humanity inside of you. You got to find compassion inside of you. You must find um, empathy inside of you. You must be your brother keeper. If the people who came before you, what they've done to you, you dislike it, have left you destitute, okay, have left you destitute, you have a responsibility to yourself, to your fellow man, to say what they've done to us, I don't like it. So I have to take a different route. Those who have struggled and find your voice, you have to educate other people. You have to, like I told the young man today. So now, here we go. I will go ahead. Okay. I have shared this. You continue to help me share. All right. But I have played two videos for you now. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play this. The first video that we had, I played Malcolm X. This was this first video that we did this morning. It's up close and personal. You don't mind the face there. So I want to play this for all of us. So and it was not long. Okay. So let's go ahead and play this. Okay, it's just showing me lane a different way, so I don't. Okay, go ahead where you are. Let me see where.
Okay, so like I said here this afternoon,
Okay.
guys, like I told you, our guest here on the talking point. If man Yancy Deep Mighty Bay is our guest this afternoon, the talking point, and she's an advocate, especially human rights. And what's quite this afternoon, we'll be talking a lot, especially when it comes to human rights and other stuff. And later we'll go a bit into politics. So my next good talking point on Nima TV and Radio Sakipia.
Good afternoon, Nima Radio and Seglipie. It's good being here to talk to my people. Thank you, Matthew, for reaching out to me, Matthew and your team. I think it's critical that all of us join our voices to shape the nation, especially for women and children, young people. They say when you know better, you do better. It is our nation. In so many words, let me say, "Nenundanu katukavu." Ngere linke la ponke mabe unwuda kawuba vole nupia win or zila bi ala ka win. Thank you.
Okay, so you are welcome. We the program will now go on. You have been an advocate, especially since you went to the U.S. You have been engaged into advocating for children right protection and what have you. So actually, I get to know what inspired you to become an advocate for women, children, and human rights.
So actually, I've been an advocating for children and women since I was 13 years old. I'm almost 60 years old. It started in the Monrovia on the old road. Just the way certain people treated their family, their children, their wives, or the husband for that matter, didn't sit well with me. And I decided that I would be a voice. From there on, the war came, and some of us, God bless us, were able to leave. I'm not sure if it's a blessing, but it's also a blessing, it's a curse at the same time because we left our people. So I thought since I've gotten the opportunity to go to school, to have my own children, never cease to stop talking because the place that I found myself, that space was created because there were advocates like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Sojourner Truth, the Oprah Winfrey of the world, even the Obama that you guys know, whether we like it or not. Those are Andrew Young, the first Black ambassador in the United States. So if you understand this country that everybody looking to come to, Black people fought a lot. They spoke up, they protested, they in for somebody like me to be here. So that's why.
Okay, so let also get to know what are those specific issues or challenges you are currently focusing on within your advocacy.
So equality is number one. Education for all citizens, not just girls. Okay. I particularly think, and this is me. All right. I particularly think Liberia has a very, and it is a gift. Liberia has a lot of resources. Okay, with very small population. And based on Article 7 of our Constitution, I think every Liberian child should have access to education. And I also believe, I was listening today to a gentleman, one of Kenya's lawmaker, who are telling us, even today, Toure had declared that every child in Burkina Faso is going to go to school free. There will be no private school. Maybe the international people that are doing business can have the international school because they come from different culture. But if you work for the government, your children are going to go to government school. They want equity. Okay, that's what I want. I think if we create, like for instance, I'm an educator in the United States, right? My school, my leaders that live in my district, their children go to my school. They don't go to any other school because they make the laws, they make the policy. The policy have to be able to work for them and able to work for everybody else. So that's one of the things that I've been working on. I've been working on, if you all remember, with the we are led government, or we are Taylor led government. At one point during the corona, there was declaration of what do you call it, rape as national emergency. We were some of the people that were behind. If you all remember the little girl that was SA, we can say everything on Facebook, SA in Bobaloo, it was Dr. Richardson and I who actually sent the funding for that child, for Rosa to go to Bobaloo to bring that child to Monrovia, that those people had to protest about. Because if we had not reached out, that child would never have been safe. As we speak, the child is in Monrovia, thanks to sis Nisua. Nisua was the one who found somebody to sponsor her. She's in school, she's happy, she's surviving. So we have, people stay out of politics. That means you are giving up your rights, okay, to speak, or you are giving all your rights so other people can decide for you. Everything is politics. Governance is about politics. Even when you advocate, it's politics, because you are recognizing that there's a problem, okay, and you're bringing it to the forefront for the government or the policy maker, the lawmaker, to kind of change it. And let me give you a common example. I was listening to a doctor the other day who have left Europe, were coming back to America, and on the flight that he was on, somebody had a electric reaction and they didn't have EpiPen, all right? And he tried to help that person. The person almost died, but he was able to find a way to save the person. When he came to the US and the people found out and made a way on Facebook, a lawmaker reached out to him and said, do you mind supporting us that we make sure every plane that comes to America or leave America with US citizens have EpiPen on it? They passed that law. That, for instance, we see almost every week on the highway, out of Bikina Highway, Nima Kakata Highway, Nima Bonkante Highway, there are always accidents with a lot of lives being lost. So that most of the time the people die. Okay, this has been going on for years. There's nothing put in place to change that. That's the essence of lawmaking. You should be able to write information to protect the lives and property. Those are the things we're advocating for. And not just when somebody is sick, we come on Facebook, we raise money, we do that too. So those are the things that I advocate for. Not just me, I have a team of women and men who support this process and signatures, but we need leaders who understand what governance is. Governance, or a structure of government, when they say this is autocracy,
when they say this is democracy, when they say this is unitary, it simply means how we organize ourselves to lead ourselves. So our government is a unitary state. It's centralized at the top. So it is really important the people that will choose to lead us in respect to the president as agency, the minister, the judges, and because of that, they are answerable to him. Okay, so when you're choosing president, when you're choosing leaders, because they're about what 70,000 employees or a little more. The last I checked, all of the head of those people who elect them, they appointed and answerable to the president. Okay, before is like a primary, then the two people that come last, it should be 50% plus one majority, not simple minority or simple majority. That it's a lottery. So anything you want, listen, in the kingdom of the animal, okay, they choose the strongest, the one that will protect them to lead them. You see, even the wolf that you see, the dogs that exist in the bush that we call wolf, they look like dogs, the German Shepherd, right? The leader is always the strongest to protect and provide the rest of them. And the strong person will stay in the front, the strong one will be in the back and in the middle, and they will protect the weak within the center. They don't take everything for themselves. Even with the leopard, the lion, you hear that the leader of the pride has to be strong, has to fight for them. But we choose because we say we love. How do you love somebody who don't love you? Do you know where love is? Love is about somebody who will give her everything for themselves, for you, and protect you at all costs, not watch you and take advantage of you. So that's where I am my voice too, because I teach governance or I teach government and I teach civic. I also teach sciences. And I have a daughter. I have three daughters. I have three beautiful daughters, brilliant daughters. I'm not bragging, and I have the right to brag because this is about I do because they earn it. Okay, they have earned it. I have a daughter who went to my oldest daughter worked in South Korea for 5 years. For a black girl who looks like me, she has to be bright for them to hire her to go to other people's country to work like that. She didn't go to school there. She went to school here. My baby, who is the last of my children, is going to college in the fall. Like got more than $1 million in scholarship. They don't know me. It's based on her academic. It's based on merit. That's what I advocate for. We don't need to give, I'm sorry, we don't need to give lawmakers scholarship to give to who pleases them, who will worship them. We don't. We
So,
don't.
I thank you for joining us. It's an insightful conversation as I made with you this afternoon on the talking point. Wherever you are joining us from, we want to say thank you. What has been some of your recent success story? I mean, some of those success stories. What are some of the impacts, positive impacts on probably people who you have advocated for?
I think when I started the conversation, I pointed out one little child. I started out and I talked about the 3-year-old, okay, that now is in Monrovia. We have advocated for a lot of other people, whether they're successful or not. We're advocated for Princess Cooper. We know how the story ended. Hopefully, there will be a leader in the future that will reopen the case and bring it to the forefront. Okay, we advocated for the three missing boys to make sure that their story was heard. It's still heard. Whether we is out there. Listen, I can bring the information to you. I can advocate for it. It left with the leaders to take interest in the people. I don't have the power. I'm not a policymaker. I'm an advocate. My job is to recognize and bring to the forefront what's breaking my nation, what's hurting my nation, why my nation is on the path that it's in. Proper recommendation. When they take it or not, that's on them. Another thing is You, the citizens, especially the young people, you have a responsibility to hold the people you elect accountable. If I tell you rape is a problem, in fact, the gender minister currently just got released the other day and said rape is really high. Okay. And I see you young people, since I got two young people in the studio, I see you young people in Liberia. Majority of you have lost your humanity. Okay. Most of the violence that I see in the street, people use the young people to perform it. In Nimakante just 2 days ago, okay, yesterday and the day before yesterday, I don't know when it is, but that when I saw it on social media, a young man who rides a back body was found. I think another body was found. When you look in Morovia, I just saw a little girl who was tabe, because that tabe grabbed her leg, tied it to her back, and beat her and threw her in the street. All right. And people are walking by. I watch young people stone one another in the street because a politician told you so. Since we're having, and I'm kind of glad I keep saying your young people are here. You people are the future. You know, they tell you, those of us who teach will tell you, if you want to see the future of a nation, see the behavior of the current generation, how the leaders, how the elders, how the adults treat the young people. My children are gold dust to me, so I see every child that way. That's one of the reasons I agreed to come on your platform, so we can have this conversation. Okay.
So let's compare advocating in Africa, especially Liberia and that of the US. Comparing the two environment, how is it like? That compare and contrast, because you said since 13 you've been an issue of advocacies for women rights and children and what have you. So that compare and contrast here in Liberia and where you reside currently in the US.
So to compare and contrast the two environment, you also have to understand the historicity of where I am. I sit here. I see sis Fanny over here. I sit here in my room. My room. So you were not allowed at one point. That up the street from me, 3 miles from me, all right, Black people were sold in the market or beaten or hung. They call it lynching, all right. But people stood up. It was a hostile environment. I think most of you have heard the name John, John Lewis, the lawmaker in America that they call Good Trouble, was beaten, were put dog on, was beaten, were put in jail. So was Dr. Martin Luther King, but they never stopped. Today we have a different kind of president with different kind of attitude. If you look in America the last couple of weeks, the streets are full with protesters because they know their rights, they know their responsibility. So everywhere that change is in action, you will have what they call it, people will rebel against it, especially those who benefit. If you go to Germany, if you study history, you go to Germany in the days of Adolf Hitler. If you go to Italy and you talk about Mussolini, if you go to Russia, if you go to those places, the stories of mankind has been the same. But if we acquire change in action, when change is in action, okay, the environment is hostile, but you have to endure. You got to stand up. I'm always in Liberia. In fact, during the election, I was in Sanikole, I was in Ganta, I was in Yekepa. We went all the way up to the border. Zalikole, we went to the border of Ivory Coast. I've been all over, okay? So although I grew up in Monrovia, but I had an opportunity to, anyway, I'm always in Liberia. So comparing an environment, you got to compare the mindset of the time, how far we've come. Although America has come this far, but we're still yet to get to that place. Liberia is one of the, in fact, Liberia is the oldest state in our region. Do you know how much fight that took place in Kenya for them to get their independence? Nigeria, how much fight it took, and they're still protesting. Okay, so I'm not telling you to protest. I'm telling you, choose wisely. I'm telling you, decide based on people character. Here it is. We are all academic, and where they place in we're in Bang, we're in Duole, we're in those places. And one lady got mad because she wanted people to give her back a rest. She was not going to vote. So I told the people to go back in the car. Okay, most of them they didn't know that I understood man because people look at me and they, I'm talking. They assume before or whatever. So I went back to her and I told her, Magare, me na vote yare. Me they not pay no in there or you in there vote yare because vote that keba to me and the door. Okay, ke vote ke me my gito de beamo. Easy kebe or me tete si kebe sensi ke and for day back me they do vote yare ye yi pe on 50 ku amo me clear. Ba mo me wan no ke ye ba pe ku amo me clear ke yi ba vote a lot. So I'm saying essence, if you're gonna
I'm saying, essence, if you're going to vote, okay, based on getting money, then you're not ready for change. And that person is paying for your vote. And that's what I was saying in the end. And with that, if you continue to take money to vote, then you can call the people and say they are that they are corrupt because you saw you vote. You never voted for them in the first place. And I said to her, so I'm gonna continue this video and I'm gonna continue the second part of this video because their phone went off. I'm gonna continue the second part. When I finish, I will do my closing and then I will call it a day. All right. So I had this interview this morning. I know Facebook can come down, so I'm trying to put it on YouTube. So when tomorrow comes, people can reference that as she said it, that we're all doing our part. Hey Paul, hey Jabba, hey sis Sua Morris, and all of you that are on there, Dr. Hardy, Brother Jesse, Levi, Sis Agnes, Sis Yama, Sis Rachel. I look forward to seeing your Clarence, Matthew. Yes, so you can go on YouTube. You will find this video there. So I'm just going to come in a little bit and play the other parts. All right. And the question to me is, oh, you're advocating. I get off the phone and my phone is ringing and people are telling me, oh, there was a natural disaster in Lowy. So if you can help. And no, I can't. The people are telling me you want me to talk. You want me to advocate for you, but you don't want me to add my voice to the political dispensation, which is my birthright, which is my constitutional right. You are telling me no. We just want you to talk. We just want you to help us, but we don't want you to have a decision. Any man, any citizen who does not take interest in the political life in the country, it means you give up your right to speak up. All kind of people will come, will make decision for you, and you and your children will struggle. So, unlike you, because I understand that, I'm gonna continue to speak. Let me continue this conversation with these young people. Okay? And we're seeing what is happening in the country. So here we go. I think this is us. Let me see where we are. So I started with the video with Michael Next talking about women education. Thereafter, I played the Koga video, right? So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and play here. This is where we start.
Technical problem, but our guest will be back right here. And as soon as she come back, we'll run quick into our discussion. And we have just 15 minutes ago, and we'll just try to go.
Levi, thank you for following. We appreciate you. My goal is to enlighten young people.
For the breaking today is due to some technical problem. I had to work on it before the time. So she will soon join us. My Beatrice, thanks so much for joining us. All of you following, you are welcome. I thank you for joining us this afternoon. Let's take a break and see whether we can reconnect all this afternoon. Please sit down and
I don't know who they invite, baby.
No, she's not doing it live. Huh?
They put out, I said, God, thank you. I said, God, thank you.
Yeah, you can join. You can just go to the live.
All right, all right.
Yeah, we just seen the link.
Putting down, God putting down, God can go straight. Motorbike can go straight. They
So,
say,
so,
all right.
so I'm already in the
Yeah,
back,
yeah, we thank God.
okay,
I said,
and
God,
I'm
thank
supposed to
you,
be
boo
coming
boo.
on.
The kind of way was
So, and this story, I asked a question about it, and I see Matthew, you're watching. You said that issue was resolved, but the gentleman that was on the live said that issue was not resolved. So I wanted to hear more about it because he said it was not resolved. The story is still lingering. So I'm not sure what is the justice system, what is the police, what is the judiciary doing. And somebody say it needs to be resolved. So I need you guys to follow up and let me know. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue this particular. Hopefully it's stay playing. Okay.
You are just okay if you don't go live. Yeah? You are there.
we didn't vote for them.
To his flesh.
For their own benefit. It is not easy.
I'm not sure.
The people of District 7 as a being been resolved.
Yeah. It has been resolved since. I think it have been years. I think nine months ago.
Okay, just making sure because I heard it. Okay, so let me come here to all of you. We all have a stake in this, and I need to speak to because Liberia is a unitary state. There are two branches of government that you have the opportunity to vote for, and all of the decisions impact you, your life, the lives of your children and their children. So if you cannot vote and you understand the structure of the government and you know the people that are running, or if you don't know the people that are running, you have a responsibility to vote indirectly. And here is how you vote indirectly. You clothe yourself with knowledge. You called or influence somebody that can vote, not just tell them to vote. Educate them as to why they need to vote for a person that you think is the most qualified. I will ask the Liberian people, the Nambadians, to vote for the person that is most qualified, okay? Not just most qualified in the sense of education, okay, can read and write, can speak well, but somebody that would stand in a gap for you, somebody that would seek your interest, because that word is for. You see, I hear Liberian people say politics is about interest. The philosophy of politics is the interest of the nation, making your country better than any other country. So the rest of the world can respect your country because your country is your people, right? If you invest in your people and you prioritize your people will build the country. You can build all the skyscrapers. If your people are not prioritized, they're not informed, all right, eventually it's going to break down. Even if you build the road, that you have to bring people in to build it. If your people do not have vested interest and your people cannot resurface and maintain the road, you will always have to bring foreigners in. You have not built a nation. Repetitive. Okay? Because you are the reason that some of us speak up. Okay, eventually, let me tell you, the day you're born, you start to die because every day your day gets shorter, right? So through the eyes of my children is why one of the reasons I still talk. So you have, I will name 3 persons that I think you guys should look at, and then I'm going to give you the last 2. You have Edith. Liberia got the Nimba have what? 9 districts. You got 11 men in power. I think the last woman you had over there was Sis Norkita. Okay. And I would like to say this though, in all clear terms and in being emphatic. Any man who thinks a woman is incapable and a woman does not have a voice, okay, that man is insecure. That man does not care for the nation. That man does not have the interest of the nation at heart. He's talking about himself. Any person for that matter. Here is why women are the first teacher of humanity. If your mother had not breastfed you, you would not have survived. If your mother had not carried you safely for 9 months, you wouldn't be here. We cannot procreate without women. And besides, we are here. It behooves all of us to retrospect history. We have Ruth Perry. We're at a very tumultuous time, a very complex, difficult time in Liberia history. She led. She held this power sharing, different fashion group, different warring fashion together and kept Liberia going. You have Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, where her first thing she came when Liberia was all sat down. She managed, okay? She managed. That's a saying in the Makante that goes, Toklo do de klam zrukufin. Inu is August, okay? It's a parable in Nima, right? Am I correct so far?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Toklo do de klam zrukufin.
Mm-hmm.
That's the fact. No matter how big a grasshopper is, if you have million ants, it's going to succumb. So even if Ellen had come with good intention, that everybody saying it's an excuse. I'm not saying that's what happened to her. I'm just telling you. So I'm saying to you, you got Edith, who you have never tested. You have Mike, who is young, represents 64% of the population. E-level represent 50% of the population. Educated, well-spoken, informed. Yes, once you live long, you will have trouble. You got 2 people, okay? Now start bringing them to the public glare. Start analyzing them. What do they stand for? Ask the question. When we elect you, how will you change for us? How will you impact our life? What is your platform? There are 5 things. Don't talk about building bridges. Don't go with will you influence your peers? Will we be able to go to school free? Will we be a priority? Okay, if she says yes or he says yes, where have you done it before? How will you do it? When will you do it? Where will you do it? Will our children stop sitting under the zinc building with no ceiling in the heat? Will we stay at school that ain't get bathroom? Will our children have to go build their own mud block to build their own schools? Okay, they are about 90% unemployment. How will you change unemployment? How will you change the abuse of power here? How will you hold Ursula Mattel accountable? How will you own Coco Cam or Coco Pa accountable? How will our life change? Because you're sending them to change your life. Then you ask Mike, you don't have like me. So when you go, when you reach out for us, we say you are 34 years old. Touré, Ibrahim Touré in Burkina Faso, in less than 2 years, I created over 100,000 jobs.
So you mean you are telling the people of Nimba to follow the way of Mark Leo?
No, I'm telling the people of Nimba Kante to look at Edith and Mike. That's what I'm telling them. I'm giving them. Listen, I don't need to direct them. They should know Mike or make it their business to know. They should know Edith to make it their business to know who's the between Mike and Edith, who the most qualified. Who do they think can represent them? Who do they think have experienced to some degree, have the requisite information? Because you won't make law, you don't go and read it, and that's the problem. For instance, I heard Koga say our law says women will not lead. That's a lie. You all can read to them when you all have to Article 5 of our Constitution. The Constitution is the foundation for which the nation was built. You cannot contradict or contravene the Constitution. Anything that does not coincide with the Constitution is unconstitutional, meaning it's illegal. It said do all you can to do national integration, meaning bring things together. When you integrate, you bring things together. That jail, our culture that's not good for the governance system, we need to do it with it because we need to do it for progress. If a lawmaker is telling me women cannot lead in Liberia, we have Catherine Cummings was a senator in Nima County. We have Margaret was a senator in Nima County. So he does not even know the history, and he does not know our Constitution. And just from his utterance, that's divisive, okay? And let me say to all of you that are listening in Nima County, academic, and I don't think he's going to be a builder. In fact, 9 months they are held Liberia Senate, House of Representatives, as a hostage. He was the leader. He was the one in our video cussing, one of them. We don't need that. We don't need that kind of hero. We want, yes.
Okay, so folks, that said this afternoon, the talking point, you listen to our guests. So we'll now open the line on 0777, that's 0775 79 61 66 is the number to put it through here. We have a few minutes to go, so you can just call in fast to contribute to the broadcast. 0775 79 61 66, 0775 79 61 66, 0775 79 61 66 is the number to put it through. We just have 8 minutes to go, so you can just call and be part of the conversation here this afternoon. Lord, she talked conversation here this afternoon. She also urged the people of Nima to choose between Mark and Edith. One of them will be the best to represent the people of Nima County. So you listen to her squarely, and you can now put your call through 0775 79 61 66 here this afternoon and be part of the conversation. I'm here with Lawrence to play. Uriah Boa Jr. And my name is Matthew. We are here this afternoon. So somebody is trying to get on the line. Let's see who is here. Let's see who is here. Oh, please don't beep us. Don't beep us. If you beep us, we won't take you. 0775 79 61 66. 0775 79 61 66 is a number to put it through here this afternoon, the talking point. So let's take this call. The call is trying to come here. Good afternoon, caller. Your name and what you join us from? Where you join us from?
I'm calling from Gelang going to be specific in Sagleville.
Welcome, let's hear you.
I want to know your studio guest name.
Oh.
On see ya sending ya body.
Okay. I really get you clear.
Okay.
You know, that's a reality. Looking
at drop the line. Let's take another person here. Good afternoon.
good afternoon, Matthew.
Yeah, your name is Jonas from Brooks.
This is Brooks M. Dawasia. I do call you from Brapa, America.
Welcome, let's hear you.
Thank you so much for the platform this afternoon. And I want to appreciate your studio guest so much. She speaks well. She started the platform very good, but when she went in detail of the platform, she diverts the whole human rights advocacies to be very political. So that definitely tells the public that she have come to preach a particular credit politically. So this is about this stage we are in now. It is a stage that Limba need to give a restraint and traditional. So with the issue where she have come to preach about politics and diverting it, going to human rights to say that, oh, this person is on this person is on that. Madam, we say no to that, yeah? If you want to be a human advocate, it's not political. So you come, you preach about human advocacy, you tell the people what human rights is about, and stop getting into politics. Thank you so much.
Thank you, bros. Thank you. Good afternoon, caller.
If you want to be
Good afternoon. We lost this caller. So let's see. Let's take this last call. We won't take a lot of call here. We are already out of time, so we won't take a lot of call. Good afternoon, caller. Your name and what you join us from?
Good afternoon, calling from Nagbash.
Yeah, welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I agree with Ghana just for Jenna. The way she was talking good, but later on she's spotty. And even now, she has to be senator for the country. Even they give her money to how to call it to give certain school or whatsoever she wants. She told the money she did story us. And now they play that functioning now. Now she coming out to say she wants to become senator. We say no.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So let's take Timothy. Timothy, good afternoon.
Thank you, Matthew.
Yeah, welcome.
I think it's better.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, thank you so much. I think the human advocate, the human advocate, who is the host now, was trying to inquire about Saga and Kanwi, which is the teaser in the team song. It was like late to rest. I don't think it is totally late to rest. Quite recently, I did a story on that, where the town people call me the family of the affected person. Norm against the perpetrator, the alleged perpetrator, he should not enter the town. But he's always in a constant habit of entering the town, boasting of his action. That's the allegation they level against him. So that issue is not yet laid to rest. There is still confusion coming out of that his alleged ritualistic killing action. So the human advocate, who is a whole now, should be in a full know of the situation. Is not yet laid to rest. The guy always coming in the town against the community norm that is against him. He's standing in the public spaces boasting that boasting of his action. Always that he can come in the town at any time. Far from that, this race, one person will emerge as winner. But it's very surprisingly the studio gets is and there are certain persons in the race. The studio gets is patient 2 persons to be vetted. I don't know from what background. I guess 1 person will win if they are pitched. If 2 persons are vetted, I don't know what the 2 will win at the same time. Is what's getting me a bit confused. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Timothy. That's it here this afternoon on the talking point. So we will now go to our studio guest, but until then, I'll take this last person who has been trying to get on the line here before going to our studio guest. Good afternoon, call your name out to join us from.
Good afternoon. All right, thank you, Timothy. That's it here this afternoon.
Please go ahead, monitor. Go ahead. Okay, so you listen to the callers. Most of them talk about you showing 2 persons to choose between and a lot, and also you listen to them. Just respond to them, and you can give your party statement.
So Matthew, thank you for having me. Next time you bring me on, please make sure we got some stuff in, how you call it.
Yeah.
So let me explain to when you live in a country where your mind is one track, you see things with a tunnel vision, like you're looking straight, you don't look left, you don't look right. That's what I heard. Okay. advocacy and politics entwined. Advocates are the one who recognize what is happening in society and needs to be taken care of. Politicians are the policy makers who are supposed to bring it to fruition. I think I spoke to that. Sir, I'm an educator. I teach government and governance. Okay. I also teach science and I teach civic. Okay. I have a background in telecommunication and electronics. I also have a background. I have an MBA. So, and world travel. I'm always in that place. The last I checked, in that place, all right, we still in there. You got about 5 candidates. You got Timba, you got Mr. What his name, Mr. Yelu, you have Koga, you have Edith, and you have what do you call it, Matt. Okay, Blue one. All right, you have never tested Blue one. Edith have never been elected. She was appointed and was answerable to somebody who would tell her what needed to happen, what needs to happen. So you have a right to decide who you want to decide. That's why I'm not dictating to you. I gave you options. Those are the people I'm looking at. And I'm still scrutinizing. Mike, Matthew, you're very distracting. You're doing interview, you're turning around, moving your hand, so it take away the focus. And people are listening to you. Okay, we gotta. When we are live, we need to be there. Be there with your guests.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
okay. So, and sorry, I'm a teacher. Okay, I'm an educator, so I will always come and kind of nudge. Now, I said to you, when you advocate, that means you sit down on the sideline. I'm in this country because the advocates who started speaking for Black people in this country went into politics. I just need some of them to you. John Lewis, Elijah Cummings, okay, the city is Nikki. Only change our society by going into politics. You want me to talk, but you don't want me to make decisions. You won't call me to raise money when your people are sick, okay? Or the people are being mistreated, but you don't want me to make decisions. You are telling me shut up in so many words because your advocate stay in that lane. That's not the way it works, my dear. I'm an educated woman, meaning I'm not talking about in terms of degree. I'm well traveled, I'm well learned. I know how society have functioned and persevere and progress. As such, I have a responsibility to talk to my people the best way I know how. When you know better, you do better. Kote kono yidru, ba no yidru ope ba kwa yi no ipa. Pem no yidru, pem madan den no ampa. Kay ke ba gende no nya le bumo because won ka ge pia kese. Yeah, you know mage ke ka mo ke dese. So let me say to you, as I end, I have 2 people that I'm looking at. If there's a third person, it may be Mr. Yellow, but Yellow have been there before. So we can ask him, what did he do when he was there? How differently will he do it this time? You just get Koga a job. So why you're sending your daughter to school when the man tell you your daughter don't have a place? Any woman who sees herself voting for that man, that means you want to be abused. And I'm just being straight up. You got a young man who have never been in your government to speak for you, okay? Scrutinize him, find out what he's able to do. You got a woman who worked for 12 months or 18 months in the government that was in a appointed position. You did not hire her to not answer you. Wherever the issue are, bring her to Seneca, bring her to Ganta. Tell her we want to hear from you. Have a town hall. Stop dancing and answer the important question. Ask those people questions. You start just getting up because the person at Gio, the person at Mano, the person at Madingo, the person at Crown, the person at Basso or the Pere. That's the biggest thing you do. The other Mano, they're Gio. And they say, oh, the person at Madingo, man. Let me say this to you, and maybe I will hurt people feeling. You cannot tell me our Vice President Jeremiah Kun is from Nima Kante and Musa not from Nima Kante. A mother from Nima. Jeremiah mother from now what sex they are or gender they are. That should be paramount.
Okay, so that's it. Thanks to you for accepting our invitation today. Finally, before leaving, what can we get from you?
What you can get from me is young people Open your eyes, open your ears, ask the necessary question, be human, be empathetic, be compassionate, stop violating each other. Don't take $1 to violate anybody because you don't know what your future holds tomorrow. Work hard, be honest, beg, be proud to beg than to steal, but be prouder to work hard and earn your living. That's how I look at it. God bless you. It's been good talking to you, young people. We're talking on the other side. God bless you. God bless Nima Candy.
Thank you so
Good night. Good day.
much.
So everyone, that was my interview this morning on Radio Seclipier and Radio Nimakane. Hopefully my message came across. Hopefully there were young women that was listening. Hopefully the young men were listening also. I just wanted to replay that for all of us in the diaspora. I think all of us have a stake. There's this video that I might play it tomorrow, but it will be on my page. I want all of you to listen to it. Liberia will continue to struggle if the Paul Bismarck, if the Dennis Coty, if the Suwa Morris, okay, if the Yasendi, if the people, I don't know what that dog, hold on, let me put my dog away. I'm going to play this video while I put my dog, but my dog is loud. So let me play this video. From another man from Malcolm X, I'm going to play for you Mr. Alexander Cummings' story to this. And so let me see. Okay, I didn't stop the okay, I don't think I stopped the presentation. So let me see where we are. Let me see where we are. I think other people are on. What did I do? I don't have that video up anymore. Okay, folks, it's 2:00, so I literally gotta go. So let me see what I did here. Already, the dog has gone off. Oh, okay. That particular video went somewhere for some reason. So it's not up here. And because it's not, I will go ahead and leave that alone. I wanted to play this. But I think I still, okay, so since that has gone off, I will try to see if I can play that. All right, here we are. I think I just look at Liberia. We are very foolish people. We can be very foolish. So I saw a letter going across the that's like a sabotage, so to speak, in my opinion. And this is my opinion, purely my opinion, from my aspect. How do you endorse three three people that are vowing for the same the same um the same the same position? How do you do that? How do you do that? How do you endorse Edith? How do you endorse Mike and you? You know, many people say Izureke Pete, throwing Burega. Okay? It don't make sense. You choose who you think is best suited. So you literally just divided your vote. Okay? That's what you just done. That's exactly what you have just done. It don't make sense. But this is me. It does not make sense to me that you will go and endorse all three candidates. Choose one. All right. So I'm gonna stop here while I go on the other side, but I'm gonna stop here with Malcolm X. I love this. This dude was way ahead of his time. Okay. Uh, I don't know how my my uh my screen and on these people. I don't know how my screen ended on them. That was not what I was looking at. Anyway, that it was said anyway. Anyway, here I am. I'm gonna close with this, and then I will show you the new president of Namibia.
Became aware of in my traveling recently through Africa and the Middle East. In every country that you go to, usually the degree of progress can never be separated from the woman. This progressive, the woman, importance of education is because the woman is aware of the importance of education. But in every backward country, you'll find the women are backward. And in every country where education is not stressed, it's because the women don't have education. So one of the things I became thoroughly convinced of in my recent travels is the importance of giving freedom to the woman, giving her education, and giving her the incentive to get out there and put that same spirit and understanding in the children. And I frankly am proud of the contribution that our women have made in the struggle for freedom. And I'm one person who's for giving them all of the leeway possible because they've made a greater contribution than many of us men. And one of the best ways that they can help is to encourage the man, try and inspire him to be more militant and turn him away from being nonviolent and passive and meek and Uncle Tomish. Make him aware that the black woman wants to see her man be a man instead of around here using religion as an excuse to be a coward and some of the things that he's been reflecting here lately.
That was Malcolm X. That was way in his 60s, folks. Way in his 60s. Imagine that. Imagine that. And it took a lot of work for us to get here. So if you want to sit on the sideline, that's you. I don't. It has not changed the nation for us. There's still over 3.6 million Liberians who live on less than $2 a day. There are still over 300,000 young people addicted to drugs and counting. The leaders are still buying themselves cars, $45,000 and $65,000 every 2 years. I don't know anyone, even the greatest nation in the world. I don't know any of you living in America that change car every 2 years, especially when you're buying it with your money. I don't know any of you, unless you're CEO or you're the top of the echelon, that got a car assigned to you 24/7, okay, that you can buy it whenever you wreck it. And you have the right to buy it. I don't know anywhere, especially the country that you call poor. That's it. I'm going to play one more video and we're going to go. Okay, here we go. One more video and we're going to go. So here I am. And I will end with this. I had it prepared earlier, but I did not.
To endorse what
I want to start with the Kofa story.
Impact not the same corona ways. And then we pay them every month. They
for doing nothing for two speakers. I'm paying for now.
For that, I'm assuming so.
Come on, so we're paying two
speaker in the budget, right? This
the other reality, by the way, is I think the budget has something like $40 million, 39 point something, if I recall, allocated to the legislature.
$40 million.
If it was
for
working,
103 people,
maybe you can justify it.
And the whole
right?
country
But
hungry.
for 103 people, $40 million United States dollars in what, $700, $800 million budget, whatever the number is, in a poor country. That's why I talk about prioritization, right? And focus and belt tightening, given the economic chaos that's happening in the world today, the challenges, stuff like that, I question the allocation of that amount
Is
of
it
money.
too much?
It's too much. Given what they're doing, given the performance. So it's one thing to pay somebody a lot of money if they're delivering, they're performing, they're adding value. It's another
Folks,
to pay a lot of money when they're
thank
not.
you so much.
They don't issue on this. The
Thank you for
government in
tuning
place,
in.
just remember, like I said,
Appreciate
to
you.
endorse
Okay.
what
And I will call
the
it
majority group is, because
a year.
government functionaries
Thank
have
you.
gone to them for look at the budget, which is so strong.
No, he has endorsed it.
Has endorsed it. So that means Cohn, in a way, is the speaker.
Yeah, I mean,
Cohn, in a way, is the speaker. He's conducting business.
Functionally, that's the case, because by the government's action, they and I guess the country is moving ahead on that basis, but it's just wrong, and that they need to politically find a way to settle it or get the numbers.
Is it wrong internationally? Because we don't seem to mind, because we have two speakers.
It's wrong internationally, by evidenced by ECOWAS refusing to sit the people they appointed to the ECOWAS parliament. ECOWAS came here to try to adjudicate, to try to settle it. They made no progress, right? So it's clearly not internationally acceptable.
So we're opening the line, but I want to exhaust my stuff I have here.
Thank you, everyone. So let me call a day. That was my interview in a nutshell for this morning in Nema County, and you heard the responses. So let's